My mother's scream cut through the morning like a fire alarm, shrill, panicked, then silence. Then, "Who put this here?" I didn't answer. I was upstairs, cradling my belly with one hand, holding my tea with the other, and smiling for the first time in weeks. It happened at my baby shower, my first, my only. 32 weeks pregnant, swollen ankles, heartburn that made me breathe fire. Still, I smiled, because I was finally being celebrated. Until he showed up. My younger brother, Ryan. Late, loud, and overdressed like he was accepting an Oscar. Then, right as I started to unwrap the first tiny pair of shoes from my registry, he stood up and clinked his glass. "I got into Stanford!" Applause erupted, chairs turned, phones came out. Balloons meant for my daughter were suddenly being dragged behind his photos. I was still holding the booties when someone cleared my cake off the table to make room for a makeshift congrats banner someone just happened to have in their bag. I stood there, forgotten, pregnant, invisible. It wasn't new. Ryan had been the star since birth, the miracle child, the golden boy, while I was the strong one, the helper, the one who didn't need as much. I gave up piano so he could have lessons, gave up my bedroom when he wanted more space, gave up my place in college to work and help with his tuition when Dad lost his job. I'd been sacrificing for him my entire life. So, when they turned my baby shower into his college celebration and left me scraping pink frosting off the hardwood floor while they danced around his acceptance letter, I didn't argue. But I didn't forget. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling. My back ached. My ribs felt crushed. But what hurt most was that no one saw me. Not as a daughter, not as a mother-to-be, just background. I thought about my daughter, and I swore she would never feel this small, this invisible. And that's when I knew. It wasn't enough to be quiet anymore. It was time they noticed me. The plan formed quietly, like a whisper behind my heartbeat. Step 1 was Ryan. He was already enrolled, housing secured, orientation week mapped out. But what he didn't know, what no one knew, was that our parents hadn't submitted the final tuition deposit yet. They'd been waiting on a delayed inheritance check. So I made a call to the trust manager, pretending to be my mother. I had the voice, the tone, the birth date, the social security number I once memorized when I had to fill out her Medicare forms. I requested a freeze, said there was a security breach, said we'd call back once we verified everything. Just a temporary delay, of course, but enough to cause problems. Step 2 was the note. I wrote it carefully, late at night, in my neatest handwriting. "You've always loved him more. I've always known. But today made it crystal clear. This baby will not be raised around people who treat her like she's second place before she's even born. Don't worry, I won't ask for anything again. Ever." I signed it with my name, folded it, left it on the kitchen table the next morning. Then I packed my bags, drove 3 towns over, and stayed with my friend Leah. No warning, no location shared. By afternoon, they were calling non-stop. By evening, Ryan's name was trending in our town's group chat. Apparently, he'd gone to register for classes only to find his funding had mysteriously fallen through. No deposit, no classes. And the trust? Still frozen. Pending identity verification, the office said. Oops. 3 days later, Dad messaged. "We're trying to fix this. Can you call us?" I didn't respond. Another text. "Ryan is devastated. He might lose his spot. Please, this isn't fair." Wasn't it? Because when my water breaks at 2 a.m., I'll be alone. And when I bring a life into this world, they'll be celebrating a boy who's not even home anymore. Fair? Fair was long gone. When the inheritance cleared 2 weeks later, the fees for re-enrollment had doubled. His housing spot had been reassigned, and Stanford wasn't feeling so patient anymore. One missed email, one missed payment. That's all it takes. especially when your parents are busy chasing their daughter who finally stopped chasing them. I saw them again 6 weeks later. They showed up at Leah's door. Mom looked like she hadn't slept. Dad looked like he'd aged a decade. They asked to meet their granddaughter. I let them in. They held her, cried, apologized. But I wasn't looking for an apology. I was looking for understanding. So I asked, "Do you remember what was on my cake?" They blinked, confused. "Exactly," I said. They never forgot again. Because silence may be soft, but when used right, it echoes louder than screams. And now, they listen. They see me. And Ryan? He's reapplying next year, at a different school. Some lessons aren't taught.